do some mushroom foraging. You want to go with me? Got a selfie stick out here to hold my camera. I noticed recently that I have mushrooms growing in my yard. And I noticed it for the first time yesterday, and I didn't notice it until in the afternoon, so they weren't really worth harvesting at that point. You know, they were real mushy and kind of breaking down just from, the environment. So I made the plan. I will live stream myself tomorrow morning looking for more. And so that's what I'm doing right now. And I already found one. I don't know if I can see it right here, but it's right over here, down there. Yeah. But I'm sure we'll find lots and lots more. I got my bucky basket to put the mushrooms in when I harvest them, and hopefully we can fill it up. So let's get to it. I'm going to reverse the camera so you can see the ground and not my face. Okay. Oh, there's one. Oh, that didn't take long. Like I said yesterday, I noticed a huge amount of mushrooms growing in my yard. And there was absolutely no way I was not going to share that with everybody over here. There's one of the mushrooms down there it wasn't there yesterday. Just FYI. Hello, people here. Selfie stick is not really a tripod, but it'll work. So I'm gonna pick this first mushroom I showed you over here. Look at it. I think these are either Burma or Treasure Coast. I'm pretty sure the stems is what's telling me it's Treasure Coast, but it growing in this hot environment is telling me that it's Burma. Either way, it's here, and that's what's important. Let's keep going. Go get this one noticed just a bit ago, right over here. You see it? Isn't that beautiful? Oh, look, another one. They're everywhere, guys. It's amazing. Lower this a little bit. See if I can get this good angle. Yeah. I was trying to get out here as early as possible to harvest before they begin, the caps begin to flip like that. But I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. I mean, I used to harvest mushrooms that looked worse than this in Alabama all the time. Bunny just ran by. Sorry, guys. Did I tell you I have ADHD? For me, it's not, hey, look, a squirrel. It's, hey, look, a bunny. There's some more mushrooms I think I saw right here. Yesterday, I made a huge mistake and I stomped all over a ton of mushrooms. This is probably a leftover from yesterday that I accidentally stomped all over. You can go down there and sporulate for me, please. Is this cocoa core? I think this is just a block of cocoa core out here. What the heck else could it be? I don't remember putting a block of cocoa core, not like this out here. Usually I break it up and bury it. But that's cool. We'll just put it over here and hope a mushroom grows on it. And I gotta be extra careful today because I don't want to repeat my mistakes from yesterday and end up stomping all over a bunch of mushrooms. I think I just saw another one. Looks like I might have stomped on this one. Oh, here's a patch of mushrooms. Yeah. Look at this stuff, guys. Look at this. To me, this is some of the coolest stuff in the world. Like, I didn't exactly set out, like, my goal wasn't to grow mushrooms in my yard, but I am very happy that it happened. I'm not gonna harvest this one. It's bad. Here's a healthy one. Oh yeah. That's a good one. I probably should have gotten out here as soon as daybreak, but I was asleep. Let's see. Gotta be careful. Don't want to stop on any. I noticed that they've been coming up like under. I got a ton of white stones in my yard, and so I'll keep spotting these and be like, oh my god, it's a huge mushroom. It's not, it's a stone. This is what mushrooms look like. Hello, people here. If y'all spot any mushrooms, let me know. I also noticed that they will grow under these patches of dry grass, also known as hay. There's some down here, but I'm not going to harvest them. I'm seriously being careful with my steps. Because I don't want to step on any of my fungi friends. Oh. Let's see if I can. Scotty beam me. Oh, hey, Bobby. What's up, dude? I haven't seen you around in forever, but I also haven't been streaming in forever. I mean, I've done a little bit of streaming here or there, but only for a few minutes. I'm foraging for mushrooms. Baba Booey. I called you Bobby. Your name's Booey. Or Bobby. What the hell? I haven't taken any of the mushrooms yet, I swear. I'm going to a concert tonight. That's what I'm saving those for. Looks like a mushroom I stomped on yesterday on accident. When I used to do this in Alabama, it was so much easier because all I had to do was look for piles of cow poop, and that's where the mushrooms would be. That is not the case here. They are growing right out of the ground. That's also why I think they might be either Burma or Treasure Coast, because they are both grass lovers. Here's another patch. Some more. Huh, it seems like they're like growing by the water hose. I wonder what that's all about. I'll go ahead and harvest these, but they don't look great. But they don't look like I stomped on them either. There you go. I got my bucky harvest basket. Did I mention I'm autistic yet? Uh, See, like that, I was like, that is a mushroom. No, it's not, it's a stone. Gotta be so careful. Look. I gotta quit smoking. I should not be even kind of winded for the amount of walking around I've been doing. Oh, yep, it's a patch. It's a patch of mushrooms. I thought so. I wasn't 100%. Like, they hide so well in the grass that I gotta be very observant and very careful, and those are both things that I am not particularly proficient in. Oh, here's some. Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna harvest those. I think they were there from yesterday. I feel like I saw a big one earlier, but that might have been me getting tricked by a stone. This bunch right here. I'm, I'm not going to harvest them, but I still want to show them on the camera. I'm scratching the heck out of my leg. Sorry for the dead air there. I'm just laughing at something I thought of. I was like, I wish I had someone out here to help me find these mushrooms. And then I was like, I should get me a truffle snout, also known as a pig, to help me forage. But I don't know if that's very applicable to this kind of foraging. See this area right here? You would really think that mushrooms would be all over it. But I feel like mushrooms almost never do what I expect them to do. Yep, there's a mushroom. See it? So I take it back. I guess they do sometimes do what I expect them to do. Thanks for freaking proving me wrong, you jerk. I'm joking around. I'm not that crazy. I just like to anthropomorphize damn near everything. 2 mushrooms. I'm only gonna harvest one because the other one looks like it's been there since yesterday. But I will take the one that has not turned purple yet. Put my fucking basket. Searching, searching, searching. Yep, I found a good one. Yeah, that's beautiful. That is genuinely beautiful. And you see all the dead grass around it that it's growing up out of? So whatever species it is, it's a grass lover for sure. That's a really good one. That's a real pretty mushroom. Look at that. It is beautiful. See what we got so far. of course, mushrooms would come up that do well in the summer. I couldn't get lucky with some fall or spring mushrooms, but I might, because like I said, in my shorts, I freaking bury and spread out all of my spent monotubs, so there's no telling. And like with companies like Sporeworks and True Blue Genetics, I will do their 10 10 syringe specials where it's basically dealer's choice, if you know what I mean by that. Where it's like, these are usually $20 to $25 a piece, but if you let us send you what we decide to, we will send you 10 for $100. And like, that's what I'm gonna do every time. So there are a crazy amount of genetics floating around in this yard right now. And you see one of them that's harvesting. Fruiting, thriving, not harvesting. You see me harvesting. Looks like some tiny ones are starting to come up there. Is this one? I think it is. Is that a mushroom growing off that branch? Is that a mushroom? I think it is. Just growing right off the branch. I thought there would be tons of mushrooms like right back up in here. Like big ones, you know. There were a few small ones. Let's see. Let's see what we see. Let's find what we find. This is a bunch of stuff I cleared out from up there and over here for my garden. Just in case you were curious, now you know. This field over here, I am assuming that it is full of mushrooms, but that's just not my property, so I can't really go foraging over there. But I'm looking at all the dead grass on the surface and I'm like, oh my god. I bet if I lift up that grass, there'll be freaking piles of mushrooms. But, like I say, that's not my property. So I'm not gonna go trespassing. A few days ago, I had some berry ink caps growing on a substrate, a wood-based substrate I had, and I wasn't really sure what I should do with them. But then, you know, I looked it up, what they're good for, and they're decomposers, primarily of wood. So that's the substrate, and I put them in this area, put the substrate in this area, and there were some mushrooms coming up on the substrate when I put it down. So hopefully those mushrooms that were growing were able to sporulate and spread their genetics all over this wood I cut down, because I don't want to clean it up. I'll let the mushrooms eat it. Man, I really thought this would be prime real estate for mushrooms. Like, I thought they would be all over the side of my house. Mushroom stuff. The weather for the rest, like the next 10 days, it looked like it was going to be similar weather to yesterday and today. So I've got a pretty good bit of days that I can still get out here and look for these suckers. Just so you know, if you want to see more of me out here or in my mushroom farm or just anywhere else, you should subscribe. Because at least for the next week, the weather will be well enough so I should be able to harvest more mushrooms from, the actual nature environment and not in my mushroom farm. Yeah, wait. Yeah, mushroom farm. Let's get back to it. I've scanned this area pretty well, I feel, as well as I am able to. So let's move on to a different part of the yard. I'm going to go up the side there, and then I'm going to go through the middle. Just so you know the plan. Like right here, there should be a mushroom as big as a freaking basketball right there, but there's not. Hey, so freaking careful. Gotta watch my step. I will put the camera down right here so that you can see down the side. And if I find anything, I will bring it to you. I will bring my basket. Okay? I think what? No. I think these are primordia. I don't think I've ever seen these out in nature. I've seen them in plenty of bags and monotubs. That's primordia, right? Like the little baby mushrooms are going to turn into big mushrooms. I am not going to touch this area right here. And I will check it again this evening and see if there is any growth. I'm going to mark it off with this hose a little bit. Cody, you put this hose here in a circle because there's mushrooms in the middle of it. Do not forget that. Okay, let's go. What? Is that primordia too? I need to adjust my barrier. And I'm just doing this with the hose so that I don't forget the area I saw the primordia in. Hello, person here. I'm looking for mushrooms. Tripping. Not like that. I did find a mushroom. And it looks fresh. That looks like a fresh mushroom right there. Can you see it? Yes. Let me, I'll move so I can get out of the light. Oh man. I'm trying to get out here early so I can avoid the heat. But man, it gets hot fast. Just took out off my gardening hat. I mean, I am kind of in the shade. Oh my god, this is beautiful. This is beautiful, guys. This is like life goals for me. To have these growing in my yard, that is something I have wanted to happen since I was 13 years old. I'm 33. It took 20 years. I did it though. I did it. I did it, guys. I mean, like, I don't know if it's really coming off as big of a deal as it actually is to me that this is happening. This is, I'm not even joking. This has been my goal for 20 years. I just was not able to stay in one place for long enough to actually make it happen. But in 2020, I bought this house and I've been able to actually do what I want with the environment. And I accomplished my 20-year goal. I did it. This is just, this is amazing. I cannot even overestimate how big of a deal this is for me. I'm just so fucking happy. Like, these are sighs of exasperated pleasure. Let's pick it. Let's pick this mushroom. Wow. This is a beautiful mushroom. I can't wait to eat it before I go to a concert tonight. Here's another one. Yeah. This one doesn't look as healthy. I'll just leave it be. But it's there. I wonder what happened to lose half its cap. Or 3/4 of its cap, really. Uh, let's keep going. I don't think I finished checking the side of the house before I noticed this one over here, so let's go back to what I was doing. I I took off my hat when I was saying, "Oh my God, it's starting to get hot." My head was very sweaty. Be careful. I want to put this somewhere. Like this corner back here, you can see my grow bags. And like this is where I put all my, not all, but a lot of my spent monotubs and grow bags. This is where I was putting them. And I buried a bunch, at least 5, right under where that watermelon is. Watermelon patch. So it made the soil healthy, but I don't see no mushrooms. I wonder if something fruited in this bag and then it sporulated and spread out over my backyard. That was shiitake. No, it wasn't. That was reishi. That was a reishi block. I put a bunch of collinated reishi fruit blocks down, and because I read that if you put them in the garden, they will they'll grow and it'll look like antlers are growing up out of your garden, and that sounds really cool. I would have loved to see that happen. Maybe in 20 years. It took 20 years to get the other ones to grow, so I don't see why it wouldn't take another 20 years to get the reishi. So, 53 years old. Set a reminder to check on me when I'm 53 years old. Now, I don't see any mushrooms growing back here. That's a Hawaiian baby wood rose on the left. A big, healthy looking bastard. This right here. These things are not easy to grow at all. It took me, I probably went through 50 germinated Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds to get 3 plants in the ground. But once they took. But geez Louise, it was not easy to get them going. Gotta be careful. Look at it. That's another Hawaiian baby. That's my second one. And then my third one, which I believe it was doing the best, but now it's not looking so hot. Like maybe it got hit with a disease that affects the leaf. I brought this out here. Well, it was already out here, but I moved this over here so I can build up around its roots and try to make it a little bit more healthy, and also a little more resilient to all the freaking crazy bad weather I've been experiencing here for the past year or so. I mean, the weather has been going crazy around here. Just wild swings in not temperature, conditions. Oh no, my buggy's all over. Careful. Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This will give me a chance to show people what all I've gotten so far. God. Oh no. I really screwed this one up. Damn. And that's okay. Things happen. And now, this right here, there's spores there now. Maybe a mushroom will grow one day. I was about to leave this one in the dark. Or, not in the dark, but it was about to get left behind. This one, now that I'm looking at it again, it doesn't look healthy at all. I'm just throwing it on the other side of the yard. I'm just scanning the area, trying to make sure I didn't leave anything. Look, this is another area that I was putting spent monotubs because it just looks like ideal conditions. But no. But you know that big, or not big, but all that open area, yeah, that apparently that is. Just trying to see if I see. Okay. No. Yesterday, when I discovered my first patch back in my yard, there was a cluster that I swear it had to be 100 mushrooms just like clustered together. I didn't harvest it. I didn't harvest anything yesterday because I didn't notice that there was even anything to harvest until in the afternoon. So they just weren't healthy anymore, so I just let them hang out and sporulate. But it was a super dense cluster of mushrooms, and they were like in a area like this. So that is where I should be looking. Okay. I did the side of the house, now I'm gonna go down the middle of the yard. Let me set this up over here. You know what? You know what? I set this up like a couple of months ago, and I was like, why in the heck did I do that? Why did I do that? Well, I didn't have an answer to the question then, but I have one now. It can be the camera mount for whenever I get out here and forage for mushrooms. This isn't working. It's a selfie stick. It's not really that kind of tripod. But I was at least going to give it a shot. This is where I intentionally grow mushrooms in my mushroom farm. So that's why it's a big deal that I have some growing in my freaking yard. Like, that is so freaking cool. I just thought about it. Why did I spend all my time building this mushroom farm if they were just gonna grow in my yard? Ah! Okay. sorry. I'm just kidding. This is, oh my god. I just can't express to you guys how much of a crazy person I am. So, this white part, that came with Nest, the cameras, and the bottom part came with something else, and then there's another thing in between those two, and then I put a this ball here. It came with a telescope that I bought a while back, and I just kind of threw this together because I was like, what am I going to do with that Nest camera mount? What am I going to do with that pivot ball? What am I going to do with that cell phone? What am I going to do with it? And then, it all came to me. Hey, I can combine them and create a phone holder, so if I'm sitting out here, I can put my phone in it, and then I can turn it this way so I can watch videos, and then I can turn it this way for if I want to do something like this. That was a creepy angle and a creepy smile. Oh my god. Why I come in here? That. Just the phone mount. The AC is running in here, so you probably can't hear me too well. I'm not mic'd up because since I was in my yard, I wanted all of the sounds of nature, like the birds chirping and everything else, to be audible for you. But the mic I use, it has really, really freaking good noise suppression. So when I'm in the mushroom farm, is this mic stand? Sorry. But so when I'm in the mushroom farm, it completely cancels out the air conditioning unit, so you can hear me. Oh god, I'm breaking it. Of course I am. Look at this. This was kind of just slapped together, so please bear with me here. Okay, it just came off. That's cool though. That's okay. Another thing I did to get mushrooms grow. Oh my god, it all just collapsed. It all fell apart. But up. Another thing I did to encourage mushroom growth in my yard is that whenever a monotub would start fruiting, and I know this is insane. What else is new, right? But I would put the monotub without a lid on it on my AC unit while it was running, so it would blow up, blow air up, and that, what I imagined happened, what I was hoping would happen, is that the air would circulate spores from the mushrooms that were fruiting in the monotub all over the yard. And it would appear that I was probably right.